Hey, what's up, my little Tattle Tells? How y'all doing today? Well, listen, if you are Meghan Markle and Harry, you need to get on that security stat. Because listen, you know I don't like to start conspiracy theories. I mean, what am I saying? I love a good conspiracy. But you guys, is it really, you know that old saying, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. What am I talking about? Meghan actually had dropped her first, podcast for archetypes. And like everything Meghan does, I'll say one thing about Meghan, love her or hate her, Meghan doesn't do anything half, but this is a phenomenal podcast. She is a natural. She has Serena Williams on. Next week's going to be Mariah Carey. Meghan is racking it up. I know Saltine Island is mad, but forget all that. We can celebrate the fact that she is number 2. She was trending number 2 for podcasts all yesterday and today. Forget about that. We'll celebrate later. We need to actually talk about the story she told about Archie in there. If you guys haven't heard, let me bring you up to speed. And then I'm going to go into the details about something just doesn't feel right. And when Prince Harry was sitting in that interview with Oprah and he was like, they tried to do that same thing to my mother and now they're trying to do it to her. Y'all, I don't know what they're playing at, but something in the milk isn't clean. It's giving Princess Diana vibes. Okay, so let's get to this. But before we do that, hit that like and subscribe button. Sussex Squad. I try to give you guys as much royal coverage. I know when William and Kate come to America to make a fool of themselves, we're going to be right there kicking. Make sure you subscribe. I'm almost to 100,000. I'd love if you guys could help me get over that hurdle. But also just turn on notifications. But honestly, I'm just glad you're here because it's nice to have somebody to chop this up with. I think everybody around me is sick of hearing it. So I'm going to go to my Sussex Squad and we're going to chat it up. Okay. So before we get into this harrowing journey, I am saying I am so looking forward to William and Kate coming to America and making a fool of themselves. No one makes a fool of themselves like Lord Voldemort and waiting for a personality Katie. And the fact that when they're coming to America, Meghan and Harry are making trips to the UK to stunt on them and show them what real charitable service looks like. Listen, you can't make this up. Okay, but let's get into this harrowing news. Okay. So if you guys haven't heard already in Archetypes, she talks about this basically Archie almost perished in a fire. And it was just mere seconds and luck for why it didn't happen. Now let's get into this and I'm going to give my opinion. Okay, so here's how it goes, right? Meghan said that her and Harry dropped Archie off at the residence where they were staying before going to an engagement. This is why they were on their South African tour, right? Now get this. She says that Archie narrowly escaped a fire in his bedroom. And despite being shaken and in tears, the couple had to then go out on another official engagement. Now, let me pause right there. I do remember that around that time, Meghan would not let go of Archie. I just thought that's because that was her pride and joy. He comforted her. This was like her emotional support, human. Like, I just thought it was like a new mother just being gaga over the baby. Who knew that after that on the tour, she kept Archie with her every second because she knew something was wrong. She knew that he narrowly escaped something. And the fact that the media knew that, and they literally, I remember all those trolls tried to turn Meghan into like some type of psychopath or something's wrong with her. They criticized her for always holding her baby, called her a narcissist, and to think all this was happening. But let's get back into the tea and where my conspiracy comes into now, right? Okay, so they dropped him off at the house where they were staying before going to an engagement. His then nanny had taken the 4.5-month-old with her downstairs to get a snack before putting him down for a nap. While she was downstairs, the heater in the nursery caught fire in a room with no smoke detector. Stop right there. I remember that tour. It was not wintertime. Everybody was dressed in summer clothes. How did a heater in a room catch fire? And how was the 7th in line to the throne? I believe Harry's 6th, so his son is 7th. Tell me how the 7th in the line to the throne, right? was staying in a room with no smoke detector. And let me ask you something else, right? Remember how when Archie was first born and very young, the royals were explicit to say that Archie did not deserve security and wouldn't get security. And remember how in the Oprah interview, when Meghan was like, yeah, they said my son wouldn't get security. And everybody scoffed saying, what does a baby need security for anyway? Yeah, indeed. What does a baby need security for? Let's actually open that up. Look at the history of the royals. Look at what happened to Diana and ask, what does a baby need security for? Again, I don't want to start any conspiracy theories, but this whole situation just doesn't sit right with me. Okay, so Meghan then said she recalled being told the news on a visit to Nyanga Township just after giving a speech. She said, we finished the engagement. We get in the car and they say there's been a fire at the residence. What? Yeah, there's been a fire in the baby's room. We came back and of course as a mother, you're like, oh my God, like what happened? Now get this. She said everyone was in tears. Everyone was shaking. And what did we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement. I said, this doesn't make any sense. Meghan said she asked if they couldn't just explain what had happened, adding, we had to leave our baby. We still had to leave him and go into another official engagement. She talked about the inner turmoil that public figures can experience behind the scenes, adding, and so much I think optically the focus ends up being on how it looks instead of how it feels. You guys, leave your comments because I want to know what you guys think. This whole story, first of all, you cannot tell me that they were not trying to break her. Again, this is my opinion. Maybe that wasn't the actual reality, but to me, it sounds like you were going to break them psychologically. Who says to anyone, hey, there's been a fire in the house. There was a fire in your baby's room. He's all right. Go to the next engagement. You don't want them you didn't bring the baby to her. You didn't want her to see the baby and you wouldn't allow them to go to the residence. You just wanted to keep them working. That is psychologically abusive. It makes me wonder also, I know I love Meghan, but Meghan does have a deep people-pleasing gene. That's what the royals expected. That's what they exploited. Again, when Meghan says she wants to live a life of service, I don't think she's joking. Granted, she wants to live a very cushy life, and we can have a conversation about the 1% and whether it's fair and just save all that for later, right? Let's just talk about the fact that I do think with Meghan's personality, she 100% wants to live a cushy life of service. She is a people pleaser to her heart. And I don't mean that to be derogatory. It's one of the more endearing things about her. Whatever went on in her childhood, she genuinely wants the world to be a better place. And she wants to be the person to try to make it a better place. I can't hate on that. But you guys, let's look at these facts. And I see why Harry literally did Brexit. Brexit. I was about to call it Megxit, but no, I hate that name. I see why he literally left the UK. Because Meghan was probably going to leave him. Can you imagine the baby almost this and that, and they're still like, go ahead, who cares about your feelings? This is already after they had her working for free. Oh, you didn't know that? They told Meghan that she should continue being an actress, and because they didn't have money to pay her. The William and Kate literally spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on ill-fitting clothes, too tight pants on William, and buttons galore on Kate, and like Diana cosplay, right? They spend how much money on helicopter rides? They spend how much money on moving into Adelaide College? They spend so much money on everything. And you have the nerve that somebody that is literally working 8 times more than William and Kate worked, right? You're trying to say that they don't have money to pay. I see what their game was at the beginning. They really wanted to smear Meghan, keep her working as an actress, and then after that, there'll be all these rumors about her being loose, her cheating on William, her doing this, her doing that. They really thought they had a way to get her out of there. They just didn't count on the fact that unlike other members of the royal family, which I really do doubt their commitment and service, they just didn't count on the fact that Meghan genuinely wanted to be of service. A life of service sounded like a dream to Meghan. She's always been involved with service, even when she was like in the public and working as an actress. She worked with the UN, she worked with a lot of charities. So to think that she could do that full time and that her marrying her husband would amplify that, I think it sounded like a dream come true to her. And I think it's something that she really thought that she would sacrifice for and wouldn't care about. It's only when things got so worse that she really couldn't take it. You guys, this is crazy. This story is incredible and not in a good way. And honestly, the fact that the seventh in line was staying in a room in the middle of a warm weather that had a heater malfunction and burst into flames. And the room had no fire detector. And only but for the nanny, because she was supposed to put him down. But because she was a good nanny, she had a habit, like Meghan said, of swaddling the baby with a mud clap and always keeping Archie with her. So when she went downstairs to go get a snack, right, because her day was over, she didn't want to leave Archie in the room. And only by that stroke of luck, because a lot of people believe in leaving the babies in the crib and then, checking in on the baby. Nothing wrong or right. It's just a cultural thing. Had she not been culturally set to keep the baby with her and on her at all times, Archie would have been, I don't even want to say it. There's so many bad outcomes. There's so many outcomes and none of them good. And then when they find out about it, there's no alarm that the seventh in line to the throne could have possibly perished. This is by the institution. There's no checkout by security. There's no checkout by the police to make sure there's no foul play. There's nothing but a cold, demanding command that no, you can't see your child. This is what happens, and you must go to the next engagement. You guys, I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with this, and I see why Harry is demanding 24-hour security when and if he brings his family to the UK. Because I thought he was doing it because of all the threats from the crazies. Maybe he realizes that the threat is coming from inside the house. I don't know. He's opening that investigation into his mother. This just isn't sitting right with me. Anyway, my little Tattle Tells and Sussex squad, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm reaching, but I'm telling you, there's just something that isn't sitting right with this story and the way that the royals reacted. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.